Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, and in this video we'll learn how you can use open source model. So what is open source model? First we'll talk about this. We know that there are two types of model is available out there. One is open source, another one is closed source. So what are the open source? Open source means you don't have to pay to use the API. Okay, use their LLMs API. Like for that we famous ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude. We know that when you have to fetch use their API, you have to pay them, then you can use the API. But in case of open source model, you don't have to pay anything. So that's why we'll know that how you can use open source model in your project. So don't have to pay any extra rupee. So first, what is open source model? Open source language models are freely available AI models that can be downloaded, modified, and fine-tuned and deployed without restriction from a central provider. Open source model is a very useful because you can download the model and you can change as you wish. You can fine-tune them. Fine-tune means you can feed your own data and you can train your own data, and we can build another model with your data. Okay, you can do this all of this because you just download your model into local system and you can fine tune them. That's why it's very important. But in case of closed source model, you can't do this. There is many restriction. If you can do this, so your data, secure data, provide to that particular company. If you use ChatGPT, so your central data provide to the ChatGPT company, OpenAI. That's why if you use open source model, you can download them in your local system and you can fine tune them as you like. That's why open source model is very important. There's many open source model, famous LLMs. One coming from the Meta, Facebook. Okay, and so first let me tell you that features comparison table. What are the features you can get open source model and what are the where you can get closed source model? Open source model cost, free to use, no API cost, and they have to pay. There is one limit. In case of open source in case of closed source model, you have to pay them, and you can modify, fine tune, and deploy anywhere. But in case of closed source, you can do this. Run locally, no data sent to the external server. You can run locally. You can download the model. We already know. And in case of the closed source model, you can't do this. Sends queries to provide services. You can customize them using fine-tune them in your own dataset, but no access to fine-tune in most cases. You can't access to fine-tune them. Deployment can be deployed on premises, service, or cloud, or must use vendor API. You have to use API. In case of open source model, you can deploy in a one way. Some famous open source model is models I already tell you that one coming from Meta, Llama. Okay, this is very famous open source model. What are the ways you can use open source model? First, we can use API. Another one you can do this. We can download in your local system. But in this video, we'll know how you can use it from API. Okay, there's one famous website, Hugging Face. There is many thousands of LLMs open source model available. You can use any of them. Today we use one particular open source model to generate the text. First we'll go to the site of the Hugging Face. This Hugging Face website, I just open it. How you can do this, let me tell you. Just Hugging Face. And click over here. So you have to open an account. Okay, I just log in with my email ID. You have to log in into your email ID. First you have to go to the models. You can see over here models. You have to click over here. So there's a model, you can see, you can use them as a fee. Okay, so first today we'll generate text. So you go to the text generation model. You can see there is a many text generation model. One is famous is DeepSeek, also you can get there, and Meta, Llama, many. Okay, but in this video we will use this model. Okay, you can see this, the parameter of the model is 7 billion. It's very low. You can also use this, but the parameter is very high, 685 billion. It's very high parameter model. But today we'll use this only small model, 7 billion parameter. Okay, for that we just go to the VS Code. I created one folder, name is open source. I give the name one name. Let's open the VS Code. First, what you use that I created one virtual environment. If you don't know how to create virtual environment, I have already created one video. Please watch this video. I already told you in this video how you can create virtual environment, how it's important, what are the things is required to know about virtual environment. Please go and watch the video. I write Python, type a name, and click enter. You can see virtual environment created. Actually we use virtual environment because what are the dependencies we install? We install it under virtual environment. We couldn't install it our local system. Okay, that's why I use mainly virtual environment. There's a many factor over there. You have to watch this video if you want to know all of them. So I just activate it. Add dnb slash script activate, click enter, and then I create a one Python file. I keep the name app.py, and one file I created that is requirement.txt. Okay, .txt. Here we give the all the dependency in the requirement the txt and initial all of them one by one. That's why we use this file requirement.txt. Okay, and just this is the requirement dependency we need to work with the open source LLMs. One is LangChain, LangChain Core, LangChain Hugging Face, Transformer, Hugging Face Hub, Python.env, NumPy, and scikit-learn. I use LangChain. If you don't know what is LangChain, and please watch the video. I already created one video. Please go and watch this video. Okay, and then go. I created one file. The file is named .env. Okay, why I created this file I also tell you. For that you have to go to the Hugging Face website and you have to go to your account and go to access token. You have to create another token. I already created 2-3 token. You have to create new one. Just click new one, go to read and keep your token name. Give the name LangChain open source 3 and create token. This is the token, you have to copy it. Okay, because I need this. I have to connect, I have to keep the connection between Hugging Face to my local system. That's why the token name is very important. Okay, So I just paste that token over here. So that for that I have to create a variable. The variable name is Hugging Face Hub API token. Underscore API token. Just paste the token over here. Okay. Then we go to the app.py file and you have to import some classes. So these are the classes we need. Okay. You can see over there that there is a one red line. Okay. There is a one line is showing the error. Okay. For that you have to install all the requirement. Okay, I just keep the name over here, but I have to install it one by one. So for that I have to go to the terminal and write pip install -r requirement.txt ui requirement.txt. Okay, you have to keep the name and click enter. I think it is. So I already installed all the dependency and then we write the code. Okay, first you have to load the .env file. .env. So why use .env over here? Let me explain it. Okay. Because we can see over here that we paste the Hugging Face API key over here. You have to connect to Hugging Face API key.env. You have to use it in this file. Okay, that's why we have to use .env load.env, because we never want to paste our secret password, mainly API token, directly into the code where others can see them. Okay, because if it is available to others, if we paste the if you push your code to the GitHub and it will see everyone. Okay, it is not recommended. You have to use it, paste it in doc.env, and what you have to do is that you don't push your in file in the GitHub. You push only app.py file. That's why we keep the secret key in another file and we use load.env function over here. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to create a token variable. If you want token variable and os dot get env, and you have to paste this variable name over here. Okay, we just paste the API key in the app.py file. That's why you use here the token variable. Nothing much. Okay, then what you have to do is that you have to create a variable called LLMs, and we call this class Hugging Face endpoint. Why use Hugging Face endpoint? Because this class will connect to you Hugging Face to your local system. Okay, so just write this Hugging Face endpoint. You have to put over here repo ID. So ID repo ID. So what you have to paste over here? You have to paste this is one model over here. The model is Jasper. I think this not the model I use it. This is not. I use another model. I think Jet PPH wire. I think this model we use 7 million. This model 7 million parameter. You have to just copy it. Okay, just copy this and come over here and I have to paste it. Paste it. Okay. Then you have to mention what you have to do. You have to do text generation. So you have to keep right text generation because we generate the new text. That's why we keep this text generation. Okay. Then we use Hugging Face API token. We call the Hugging Face API token and we have to pass the token. This variable we pass this. Okay. Then come over here, next line, and we have to create another variable that's called model. We call the chat Hugging Face function. We pass the LLMs variable. Okay. So what chat Hugging Face function do over here is, okay, because we keep your all the information over here. So to pass the chat Hugging Face means they can connect you to the LLMs too in your local system. Okay. And then we create another variable that's called a result, and we pass the model and we invoke. We pass who is the Prime Minister of India. Let's see what output give the LLMs, and we keep the print result dot contain. Okay, this. Then run this. Just save this. Run. Let me see the output. I'm getting error. Why I'm getting error? I think maybe repo ID may be wrong. I think. Let me check one time. Okay. Why I'm getting error? I got the issue because I by mistake it will come the 2 times. Okay, that's why I'm getting issue. I just remove this because it is auto generated, so most of the time it's generate automatically, and then if you press the tab, so it will keep your code in your. Okay, that's why I automatically come this. I just save this and run this. I think this will not give you any error. Most probably, let's see. It will take some time. It depends on your hardware. Okay, so let's see how the output. We'll see. Narendra Modi become the Prime Minister of India in May 2014. Okay, this is the output we will get because it is open source model and this parameter is very low, 7 million. That's why the output is very not very good. I think you have to use it very high parameter LLMs. That's why you get the very good output. So that's the video. If you like this particular video, please thumbs up, and if you have any query, please let me in the comment section. Thank you guys.